and AM 1160. This is a very special day in Major League Baseball. Every year on this date it is. And Jack Benedict is here to talk with us about it. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. People, you got to just, watch us on Facebook here this morning because you'll see Jack. Turn to the camera there, Jack, and show your Brooklyn Dodger jersey.
That's the front. 42 on the back.
There you go. 42 on the back, and 42 is going to be on the backs of every major leaguer today.
That's right. And not only Jackie Robinson Day, 75th anniversary of breaking the color barrier on this date in 1947.
Wow.
It's hard to believe it's been that many years, and he's been gone since 1972.
That's as hard to believe as anything.
But, yes.
And you were there at Ebbets Field that day.
I was not at Ebbets Field, but I did see Jackie Robinson play when I was 10 years old at Forbes Field, and that was 1953. I don't recall the final score. I just recall that near the end of or at the end of the game, and after the game was over, and the players coming out of the stadium, because it's not like today. Everybody goes their own way. Everybody has their own cars, their Ferraris or whatever they have. And Jackie Robinson was coming out of the stadium in a suit with his uniform draped on his back on a hanger.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like yesterday to me that happened.
Yeah.
But, the thing is, I think if you look at his baseball statistics, they're okay. They're pretty good. They're not outstanding, but he only played 10 years. But his impact on the world and on humanity is what we talk about.
Yeah. Well, he was already an established star for a lot of years before he debuted in the major leagues. He was over 30. No, not over 30, but he was close to it when he got there.
He was around 28 years old.
Yeah.
Yes, and he had played for the Monarchs, the Kansas City Monarchs, and that was around 1945. And then he went to Montreal, the Royals, is where Branch Rickey got him over at Montreal. And in fact, there's a famous statue that's at Youngstown, Ohio, of when Jackie Robinson hit a home run for Montreal, and just as he's about to step on home plate, white man George Shuba is there to greet him, and and George Shuba was from Youngstown.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a statue of the two there,
The famous George Shuba statue in Youngstown.
Yeah, exactly.
How about that?
Yeah, but, if you've ever seen the movie, the original movie in 1950 was okay, where Jackie actually played himself.
Played himself, yeah.
But the one with that 42 that came out,
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, that was sad when, that young man, he was such a great actor, and what happened to him. But I thought, except for two little mistakes that I saw in the movie, that it was really well done. And Harrison Ford was terrific.
Yeah.
Branch Rickey.
Yeah, he really was. You think about the legends that have come up about Jackie Robinson and becoming the player who broke the color barrier. The stories of he and Pee Wee Reese, and whether that actually happened or not, Pee Wee putting his arm around Jackie. The fact that it is a part of the Jackie Robinson lore just tells you how important it was for him to walk into that locker room and find an atmosphere that was accepting of him, even though not everybody wanted him to be there.
Well, one of the things that was in the movie, too, when Bert Schotten took over as the manager, because DeRocher had been suspended, and Schotten goes in, and he's older at this time, too, He looks like your grandfather, and he comes in, and he's addressing himself to the different players, and he looks over, and he said, "You're Robinson, right?" So I was like, "Oh yeah, duh," that was. But the thing about Jackie Robinson that grabbed me when I was a youngster, and I first started to listen to the Brooklyn Dodger games on WCAE in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure what it became then. It was 13 something or other, and it was like the Rosie Rosewell deal with the Pirates, where it was ticker tape.
Yeah.
And Nat Albright was the broadcaster. I never forget his name. And it just, I just hung on with it. Was Jackie Robinson and everybody else of the team and that's how I became a Brooklyn fan. But the thing I think about Jackie Robinson, too, is what he had done elsewhere in life, what he did. And that is he, of course, was part of the civil rights, and Martin Luther King said even before me was Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
And he then became a vice president of the Chock full of Nuts Coffee Company.
Mm-hmm.
He started he was the first African American. He started a bank, the Freedom National Bank in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
Things of this nature, that he was involved in politics. Just everything that went on in life, he seemed to be a part of it. He wanted equality for everybody. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, one of the things that I recall in my readings about him as well, and other depictions of him, is that he was a man who stood for his beliefs, and those beliefs weren't always accepted by everybody, even within the civil rights movement,
You're right.
within the political world. His beliefs went against others who criticized him for it, but he never backed down from what he truly believed.
No, that was the thing. He probably was not easy to get along with. He was completely different from Campanella and Newcomb and those guys, and he stood for. I mean, seen in the movie where he told the guy who didn't want Jackie to go to the restroom there when they were putting gas in the bus, and he said, take that out of there. Okay, you don't let me go there. Forget about all the money you're going to make, putting gas in the bus and that sort of deal. He also was court-martialed, for sitting at the back of the bus and that sort of thing. He was honorably discharged, but he stood for his rights. And what was sad is that he had a lot of tragedy, and like I said, he only lived to be 53 years old. Now, July is a big month coming up. The All-Star game will be at Dodger Stadium because that was postponed from,
Yeah.
Rachel Robinson will be 100 years old. She still heads up the Jackie Robinson Foundation, which she founded in 1973. Also, one of Jackie's favorite teammates, Gil Hodges, will be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame that year.
Yeah.
That month. So there's a lot going on there. He's had he's touched upon a lot of people's lives everywhere.
We would assume Vin Scully will be a part of this in a big way as well.
I don't know. Vin's kind of a loner now. He likes to stay at home. He lost his wife last year. She died she's much younger than him. She was like 76, 77, and he's kind of a homebody. Although it was wonderful to see he got the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
Well deserved. But the Dodgers yesterday, when they opened up, they honored some people through the decades because this is also the 60th year of Dodger Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a pretty big number for me, too. But anyway, they had different people, different players from different decades, who were representing the team that day. And Jaime Harim, who is the Spanish-speaking Dodger broadcaster, this is his last year, Hall of Famer, 64th year.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
It really is. That whole Dodger mystique, of course, pervades all throughout baseball. Now, people wearing number 42 today all across the Major League platform, special ceremonies in every game, the Pirates game included at PNC Park. And another special thing about this, and it's kind of hard for us to imagine, but Roberto Clemente almost wasn't a Pirate. He was destined to be a Dodger, and this year is the first year that former MVPs and Roberto Clemente award winners can wear 21 patches on their jerseys for life, for their entire careers. They can wear the Roberto Clemente 21.
Double up 21, you got 42.
That's true.
I did want to mention this. If we have time, just briefly here.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. You've got to get a lot of credit in Jackie's life to his mother and his wife, because his father deserted the family when Jackie was 6 months old. So here's an African-American woman in around 1920 with 5 kids in Cairo, Georgia, and she picks up and goes across the country from Cairo, Georgia to California. The Pasadena area. She has a brother who lives there or whatever. And, that took a lot of guts. Just imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, but she was a very stabilizing thing. And then Rachel, picked up and they lost a child and Jackie Jr. and that sort of thing. So
For Jackie Robinson to live the life that he did, and to make his way to UCLA, where he was a multi-sport athlete, and a lot of people said baseball wasn't even near his best sport.
mhm.
Again, that's groundbreaking for him to do what he did as an athlete and as a young black American, making it to college, starring in all of those sports
Yeah,
in that society.
yeah. Basketball, all conference, track and field, baseball, football with Kenny Washington as a running back. And they have a statue there, or they actually their facial of Jackie and his brother Mac,
Oh yeah.
who finished second in the Olympics to Jesse Owens in the 36 Olympic Games, and told Hitler to take a hike.
Take a hike, Hitler. All right, so Jackie Robinson Day is today. Special something in Brooklyn this year. Is that true?
Well, they're putting up a museum. I mean, the museum, Jackie Robinson Museum, that's also set to open in July.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been delayed by COVID, by money situations, whatever. So I've seen some pictures of it and whatever, and it looks super.
One of these days you'll make it there, I know.
Oh, let's hope so, huh? I made it
know,
here.
yeah.
That was good enough. Hey, thanks for giving me some time here because it's a big day for me and for baseball and for the world, really.
It really is. It really is. And it's always good to see you. Thanks, Jack.
Hey, thanks, guys.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.